Welcome everyone to another episode of Mr. Woodward's History Moments. These episodes will explore the historical events and people that we learn about in class. For today's episode, we will dive into one of the most important events of the entire Revolutionary War, the Battle of Yorktown. We need to first travel back to 1781 for a full breakdown of the battle. Here we go. Thank you for joining us today. We have one impressive matchup between the USA and Great Britain. First, let's take a look at the leader of the Continental Army, George Washington. Also known as the Commander, Washington stands at a respectable 6 feet and 2 inches and weighing a sturdy 189. Washington will be facing at Yorktown the formidable Lord Cornwallis. The head of the British Army, Lord Cornwallis, stands at a commanding height of 6 feet and 3 inches and a plump 210. For further study of the USA and Great Britain at Yorktown, we send it to our stay-at-home correspondent, Mr. Woodward. Yeah, thanks for having me today. Thank you. So what we have seen from the colonists are 1, a willingness to fight. They are upset about the British government pushing them around. And 2, they know their land a lot better than the British military does, which is a tremendous advantage. And the one weakness of the colonists is this: they don't have the thousands of soldiers and resources like the British, which is proven to this point to be a big obstacle for them so far in this war. For the British, however, the advantages are obvious. They are the New York Yankees of the 18th century. They are the Michael Jordan of armies, and they know it. Their first advantage is military strength. They've got it all. Well-trained soldiers, educated officers, and a huge navy. 2, the British also have money to fund the war. They have been taxing the British subjects and the colonists for years now, and have gotten enough money back to support this war. The colonists, on the other hand, have had difficulty with finding enough money to even provide uniforms or boots for their soldiers. However, the main weakness of the British is this, and listen closely to this. They are fighting a war against colonists who are inspired with the idea of being independent and free. That's a big deal. Historically speaking, the people who are fighting for independence have an upper hand. Thank you to our correspondent, Mr. Woodward. Here's where we take a break in our episode. What you'll need to do now is answer question 1 and 2 in your question guide. To answer these questions, use your question guide and pause this episode. Again, to answer these questions, use your question guide and make sure to pause this episode. And we're back, and we're going to take it. Let's look at this stat here currently. George Washington, the leader of the Continental Army, has roughly about 20,000 plus soldiers currently tracking towards Yorktown. This is a very important statistic. Now, the French, we're not so sure. Oh, hold on here. We have breaking news coming in. Let's send it to Mr. Woodward, who is out at Yorktown right now. Yes, thank you. I'm currently here at Yorktown, where we have seen a decisive victory from the Americans against the British. With the help of the French surrounded using their Navy force, surrounded the British on the peninsula of Yorktown and completely took them off guard. It is an incredible victory, a victory for the United States. Here's where we take a break in our episode. What you'll need to do now is answer questions 3 and 4 in your question guide. To answer these questions, use your question guide and pause this episode. Again, to answer these questions, use your question guide and make sure to pause this episode. If you are just joining us, an incredible victory for the Americans at Yorktown has taken place. Our correspondence is saying that without the French Navy and Army, this victory would not have been possible for the USA. That does it for us here at Mr. Woodward's History Moments. Have a great day, history fans.